Hello again and welcome to another Mordian Glory Battle Report. Today I've got something really exciting for you guys. I have got the official playtester copy.
Leaked, I think you'll find.
That is true. It is not an official endorsement by Games Workshop, but I didn't sign no NDA, so I got my hands on a leaked copy of the Codex. So I thought, you know what? These could all be wrong. But let's show it off because we're excited to use them. So a leaked copy of the new Guard Codex. Now, just to be clear, guys, we don't know. This is an earlier version. I've said this throughout the leaks. Some of this information, it could be up to a year out of date. We just don't know. What we do know is that they look pretty exciting, and it does look like at some point this is definitely the direction that Games Workshop was thinking of taking the Guard in. So what me and Scholar thought we would do is a battle report using it, and then when the final product actually does drop, we'll do a battle report with that, and then we can compare and contrast.
It might be exactly the same.
It might be exactly the same, bar a few little wording clarifications.
Yeah.
Now today, the new Guard are going to be facing their oldest enemy, the Blood Angels. Me and Scholar were thinking about this a lot, and we were deciding what army should we put them up against, and we decided that, you know what, for this channel, there is only one true test of a new Codex. There's only one thing that we could do, and that is a classic Scholar Blood Angels Mordian Glory Guard battle report. So, Scholar, do you want to take us through your list, and then we'll stop cock teasing and blue balling these guys, and we'll actually show them what we've come up for the Guard list.
So, for you few Blood Angels out there, and for those who want to know what the Guard's taking on, I've thrown together a true test for you guys here. This list is it's been cooking on gas. I'm not going to lie to you. So, starting off, I've got 3 HQs, no Psyche here, no Mephiston.
Oh wow!
I have a lieutenant. He's just got a power sword. I've got a captain, he's just got a thunderhammer, and then I've got a sanguinary priest, just chainsword and bolt pistol.
Sorry to interrupt, does your captain have a jetpack?
Yeah, oh he has a jetpack.
Okay, of course.
I mean, I don't even think about that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah. But,
what Blood Angel doesn't take it?
Yeah.
Well, you know, Chaos can't take jetpacks anymore.
All the other Blood Angels will laugh at him. So they're not going to follow his orders. So the only thing upgrading these guys, apart from the few bits I've mentioned, is that the priest is my warlord. Now, he doesn't have a warlord trait, but he does have. I want to call it the Beacon Angelis, but it's not that. I think it's the Icon of the Angel, and it allows reroll charges within 6 inches of him.
Okay, very good.
And then, so no psychic powers, nothing like that. So on the troops, as you can see, straightforward enough. We've got 3 classic units of Blood Angels, Tactical Marines. You know, they do work. They're, you know, perfectly cost effective, if that makes sense. I've given each one a plasma just to give them a little more punch if they face any armour. Then onto the elites, we've got sort of 2 big wedges of elites here, the meat of the list. So of course on the right we've got, you know, my fave, 2, well it's hard to say, you know, I love these guys and the Death Company in equal measure and for different reasons. These guys, there's certainly the strong arm of the law in this list, strong arm of Sanguinius, and there's 2 squads of 9 Sanguinary Guard, both with 3 Encarmine axes and 6 Encarmine swords. For those of you who aren't familiar, they have death masks and heirs of Asgalan, and what that means is essentially you're always -1 to hit them in melee, and they're always +1 to hit in melee if they're within 6 inches of the warlord. So as long as they're within 6 inches of the priest, he's going to be making one of those units turn counters in the assault doctrine, so they get an extra attacks. He's going to be healing them. They're going to be getting +1 to hit, so they're hitting on 2s. Captain will be with them, rerolling 1s. You know, they're just a freight train.
Yeah, they are a real freight train, and it's great to see Sanguinary Guard just actually be good now, because they're such an iconic unit. And you know what's great is Johnny has been sitting on these Sanguinary Guard for literally years. You go back and watch some of our 8th edition battle reports. He's been using these Sanguinary Guard for a long time, so it's great to see that that sort of long-term collection is now being rewarded.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, most of this list, I've got, you know, 4 units Primaris. Most of this list is Firstborn, you might say.
Because Firstborn is best.
So then I've got 10 Death Company. I've got 2 Power Swords and a Thunderhammer in there. The rest chain swords, jetpacks, and they're just there. You know, if I get turn 1, they just charge forward, Forlorn Hope, and you know, take a wedge out of the enemy lines.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they're just, you know, advancing forward slowly through cover and, you know, they're going to pounce eventually and it's nasty. And then to round out the list, they've got to have a bit of fire support. So, obviously I've got my 4-blade guard, you know, they're just, you know what blade guard do, they're meaty, they've got swords.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, rounding out the list, I've got 2 squads of Eradicators. They've got the 24-inch melter rifles, so slightly less damage, slightly more range. That's because I'm relying on them for my fire support. And then I've got a Redemptor Dreadnought with all the bells and whistles. So it's got the plasma, the Gatling under the arm, the rockets on the top, Storm Bolter. I think that's it.
Nice. Well, a very, very strong Blood Angel list. Nothing like a good Blood Angel list to try and test a new codex. No point in us putting the new codex, doing a GW, and putting the new codex up against some totally rubbish list. It's not how we do things here. How we do things here is we do proper stress tests. So great to see Scholar bringing down a strong Blood Angels list. And it'll be great to see how the new guard play into it. You know, I will have the later codex, but Johnny will have obviously much more experience with that with his army. So we'll see how it goes.
This is my 9th edition list as well. I've been running this.
Yeah, this is
with obviously a few swaps in and out. So often I have Mephiston or like Libby Dread or whatever, but for the main components, I'm relatively familiar with how this list works. Obviously, we make mistakes when we're filming battle reports occasionally, but it's what it is.
Those mistakes, never.
Well, you know, I think we're pretty good. I think we're pretty
good. We're pretty good.
But, you know, we do.
All right.
Make mistakes.
So that is the list.
Too many additions rattling around in my brain.
Yeah. So that is the list for the Blood Angels. And now let's get you guys nice and uncomfortable feeling in your trousers. Let's take a look at the new guard. And here we have 2,000 points of the leaked guard codex. So let's go through this. So starting off on the left, we've got our HQs. We're going to have a tank commander. He's going to have a Vanquisher cannon and a las cannon in the hull. We're then going to have a Cadian Castellan here, represented by the Lord Solar Macarism. I just want to say a big thank you to channel supporter Jamie Warren for sending that in. Absolutely top bloke. We've then got a command squad, and this is going to have a regimental standard, a medic, a master vox, and an officer with a bolt pistol and chainsaw, and then just one regular dude in the back there. All this is in a brigade, I should say. We've then got the elites, where we've got a unit of 5 Ogryn. I know, taking Ogryn again, but they're actually pretty good now. And then we've got a unit of 10 Kazakin with 2 melter, 2 plasma, a plasma pistol on the sergeant, and then we've got 4 regular guys with hotshot lasguns, and then we've got this chap back here who's going to be the with the exposed face. He's going to represent the hotshot sniper guy today. Then we've got a commissar, and he's just going to have his bolt pistol and chainsaw, nice and cheap, but doing some cool little orders. Then we've got the core of the list, the Cadian Shock Troops. That's right, I've decided to take 10 units of Cadian Shock. I've got 3 of them with double melter guns, and then I have got the rest with double plasma guns. And then everyone's just sort of we've got that Voxcaster in there, las gun, sergeant with las pistol, chainsaw, all that kind of good stuff. And then moving on to the support units, I've got 3 armored sentinels with las cannons. I've got a devil dog. I've got a hellhound.
Devil dog.
Devil dog. Get some, devil dog. And then I've got a Hydra. I know a Hydra, all the crazy units coming out, but again, it's actually quite improved. And then I've got another Lehman Russ with a las cannon and a Vanquisher cannon, and I had 5 points of service, so it's got a heavy stubber as well. And then I've got a Lehman Russ Executioner with the new and improved Executioner plasma cannon and a hull heavy bolter. So lots of different units here. I've decided to take a real eclectic mix to try and show off the new guard as much as possible. Now, I've also decided to take some cool pre-game stuff as well. So I've spent 3 CP before the game has started. I've gone for a relic, an extra relic, and a warlord trait. Now, my first relic is going to be on the Kazakin Sergeant, and he is going to have the Barbican's Key, which will allow his unit to, in the same turn, basically teleport anywhere on the board. So that's kind of cool, a bit like the Necron Veil of Shadows. And then my second relic is going to be on my Master Vox, and it's going to be the Glorian Proclamatus. You've got to say it like that every single time. And that gives it unlimited order range on the officer's orders. So anywhere on the board, he can order people. I thought those 2 would be really cool to show off. They're not necessarily the most powerful ones, but it's cool to be able to have, you know, a unit of Kazakin that can teleport around the map once per game. And it's also kind of cool to have an officer that can just issue orders to everyone, everywhere. My Warlord trait is going to be on the Cadian Castellan, and he is going to have superior tactical training, which means that he knows one kind of orders that he doesn't normally know. And I've decided, considering I've only got the one tank commander, that I'm going to go so that he knows mechanized orders. So that's really cool. So I've got my tank commander who can issue orders, and I've got my Castellan who can do it as well. So that is the list overall.
He's a tanky at heart. Did his basic training with
exactly. He had a tank, but it's been lost at some point. So now he just, he's still got access to those Vox channels. You know what I mean? So I don't know if this is a particularly good list. I'm not too worried about it being a good list, to be honest. I just wanted to show off as much of the new stuff as possible.
Double plasma and 6s are two hits.
It doesn't affect the plasma. The Cadian shock troops have exploding 6s, but it only affects the lasguns.
I still think that'll be nice. I still think it'll be nice.
Now, my regiment traits for this army are going to be elite shock troops and also heirloom weapons. Elite shock troops allows each unit a free reroll to hit dice. It's going to be pretty good for things like the plasma and also the vanquishers. And heirloom weapons means everybody has got an extra 4-inch range on all of their guns.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not bad, is it? The Kazakin
is weird, like 28 inches.
Yeah.
Like a 30, like.
Well, they used to do like 6 inches for rapid fire and heavy weapons, and then with new codex, like the Tower Codex, they just said 4-inch to all weapons.
I know, I just don't like it.
No, me neither. Everything in 40k has been done in units of 6 for a long time. Stop messing with my Tai Chi Games Workshop.
Man, like.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Last thing to mention is the unit of Kazakin are going to use their Warrior Elite ability to have brutal strength. That means that when they're moving and shooting with the heavy sniper rifle, it doesn't count as for the -1 to hit. They can move and shoot heavy weapons with no penalty. So that's kind of cool. That's what we've decided to go for today. And so what we'll do is go over the scenario and then deploy the armies. So here we have the field of battle for today. The mission is going to be conversion. That is where there are 5 objectives on the board, as you can see here. And that it is table quarter deployment. So one person will be starting in this table quarter. One person will be starting in this table quarter. The mission primary objective is hold 1 objective for 4 points, hold 2 objectives for 8 points, and hold more objectives than your opponent for an additional 4 points. The mission tertiary, the second part of the primary, is you get
2 points.
2 points for holding one of the objectives in no man's land.
So the centre or the 2 sides.
Yeah. You also get 4 points if you somehow manage to get to your opponent's objective, which is pretty cool. But you lose a point if your opponent actually controls your home objective as well. And then we'll go over secondaries for each army in a moment. So just covering the terrain for today, any of these big bits that you see here and in the centre of the board and in each quarter, they are more than 5 inches tall, which means that they are both light cover and also obscuring terrain, so you can't see past them. Then any of these ruins that you see here, they will be dense terrain. And then any of these little small walls here, if you're on the little base there, that will be light cover. But apart from that, they're just true line of sight blocking. So just a little bit of extra walls there. So that is the mission and the board for today. We'll be back once the armies have deployed. So here we have the field of battle after deployment, the guard having gone in a classic castle formation, putting all of my big heavy hitters at the back, because now I don't need to worry so much about them being so far back because they've got great movement. There's no need to worry about going in half distance for shooting anymore. And then we've got a nice screen of infantry and hellhounds and sentinels at the front.
Nice screen you got there, shame.
It's always too forlorn furied. Yeah, well, that's probably what's going to happen. So I've got my screen at the front, got some infantry reserves in the back. Not actual reserves, just sort of deployed a little bit further back. And that's it. Classic castle. Coming over to the Blood Angels.
I felt a little inconfident with my deployment because I don't really know how you can move and so on and so forth. So I didn't really want to chance my Sandguard out in the open because, you know, I feel like you've got quite a big threat range with your vehicles these days. So I thought, chance it with the Primaris guys. Hey, Primaris kid.
Go first.
You go first. So he's heading out. These guys obviously -1 to hit through, and they can, you know, we'll see.
They might fall off through it. We don't know.
But my insurance policy was like, if it takes a couple of turns for me to get them rolling as long as I've got these guys alive.
Yeah.
So
it's a 5-turn game. Use every turn.
Exactly.
Use every turn. Okay, so the Blood Angels, you can see, big old castle of Sangar with a couple of tactical squads further back to hold that objective. And then we've got the Primaris lads and a tactical squad over there up front, ready to absorb the first few shots of the guard or, you know, take some early objectives. All right, secondaries. Now, I have gone for Inflexible Command, Boots on the Ground, and Special Orders. Special Orders isn't a great one for a 5-objective map, but it's a fun one. I just love like blowing things up, so that's fine.
It's not a competitive game. It's
no,
you know,
it's a playtest game.
It's a decent list.
Games Workshop, you better be watching this. We're gonna have some feedback for you. And then Johnny went for Oath of Moment because he loves that middle objective. He went for Relentless Assault because he is a Blood Angel at heart. And then he went for a really cool one. He went for Blade of Sanguinius, where he issues a challenge to one of my officers, and I have to accept it. Now, the sensible thing here would have been to accept it with the command squad because there's more wounds in there. But I figured that no commissar would stand idly by whilst the honour of the Emperor was questioned. So
by him, because I'm the servant.
So, yeah, well, you guys could all be Black Rage for all I know. But yeah, so I accepted with the commissar. Johnny took a fun stratagem, and I accepted with a fun character because that is the tone of the game that we're setting.
I also like Blade of Sanguinius because I've chosen my captain for it, because you know you can sort of not do anything with it, you know, and they've got to really be on their game, and then if they forget, and you can just snipe out their opponent immediately with your captain or Mephiston or whoever you've issued the challenge with. It can be an instant 15 points, just bang, in the bag, done.
Yeah, it's either a 0 or... You typically get a 5. You typically get at least a 5.
5 as an insurance, and then...
Yeah, there we go. I mean, I probably only get 5 on Special Orders. We've both taken a bit of a funny third one just to mix things up a bit.
Yeah, just fun ones.
Now, as far as we've taken from the Codex that I've seen, the Guard Codex isn't going to come with any of its own unique ones. It's like the Demon Codex where you have to rely upon things like Nephilim. So that's why I've chosen those ones. Interesting how GW are doing that for some codexes and not others, like Votan got their ones in. But to me, that indicates that Votan were in the works for a long time, whereas the Demons one and the Guard one, they cranked it out. Yeah, exactly.
Went down the pub. If
you look at that Catachan Jungle Fighter data sheet, you can certainly believe it. I've told you about that later. Anyway, that is it. So now it's just the important roll-off to see who goes first. All right, Johnny, would you like to roll first, or would you like me to roll first, see what you go against?
I'll allow you to go first. So take your first shot.
That's a 1. Elite Shot Troops, we roll.
5. So I'm going first.
He's going first.
Don't know if that's a good thing. Don't know.
That means probably a Forlorn Fury in my life.
I'm cranking. I'm hitting the red button.
He's hitting the red button. He's going for it. The whole table just collapses. All right.
That's right. That's what will happen.
Yeah.
I have a cunning.
That's right. Ordering dessert before I finish my main. That's just how I roll. If you've got a problem with it, call the manager.
Yeah. I just have to say, don't ask me, lady. I just work here.
Yeah.
But I have an interesting little trick up my sleeve.
Okay.
Which is going to really annoy Tim. So
excellent.
Join us after this commercial break.
All right. We'll be back with the after the Blood Angels have done their movement phase, and I have probably done lots of swearing off camera. So we'll be back in a moment. So rather predictably, the Blood Angel Death Company Forlorn Fury first. You take your CP off yourself for that, Johnny. And then the rest of the Golden Host with a bit of red mixed in took the centre of the board. That is a real brick of death. That is very, very cool.
Behind,
yeah, did everything, pretty much everything advanced. Yeah.
Advanced apart from this.
And the Death Company, of course. Yeah. So we've got the Golden Host, which advanced in the centre, and then we've got all these guys back here holding the objective. The Eradicators advanced. The Dread did not advance because it wanted to be able to keep its toe in the dens and be able to shoot some of that plasma and that Gatling around the place. And then the Death Company flew forward. So now we're going to go into the shooting phase. So what are you going to shoot with, John? I think it's just the Dread, really, isn't it?
It's just the Dread. He's going to fire all his DACA into here.
Very cool.
The Frag Stone Grenade launch, that's only 18-inch range.
Yeah, the advantage of having such a tall model, guys, is you can see over those little walls that we've got there.
And the plasma into
the Devil Dog.
Yeah.
You know, getting his debut, and you're killing it.
We'll see. So I'm going to overcharge.
Okay, you're going to overcharge.
So Microplasma Incinerator, sir. It's D6 shots, 1.
The big one. Could you just CP reroll there, sir?
I'm not. Oh, I forgot to say, but I did say it off camera. I was spending a CP to give him reroll ones.
Okay, you didn't say it, but you can do it now. I don't mind.
I did say it several times.
I probably missed it, honestly. I wouldn't stop you anyway, dude. It's a cool game. Do you know what I mean? It's fine.
And I will also spend a CP to reroll that because I think I need to get a little bit of punch in there. And we're getting a lot of CP this game back. Okay. So this is the Macroplasma again.
Well, it's technically better. Technically better.
It's going to be one of those games, I can tell, but we'll keep the spirits up.
It's -1 because I've got my toe in the dents. It's got a couple of hits. Now it'll be 3 to wound.
And it's AP -4.
Okay, so
3 damage each.
2 wounds. So AP -4 become AP -3 with Armor of Contempt. At the moment, guys, both sides still have Armor of Contempt. There's nothing saying that we don't. Maybe we'll lose it with an update at some point. There's a rumour about that, but right now, we're
it's
good.
Not a rumour, it's just people moaning.
I think it's people moaning too. So then we've got 2 6-up saves. Hey, I saved 1. So 3 damage, is that going through?
Yeah.
Right, I'm just going to put that on there. Obviously, he's got more than 3 wounds left, so just a reminder.
Onslaught Gatling cannons, 8 shots, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's hitting on 3s now, re-rolling 1s.
Nice. Hey, that's good. He likes hitting.
There we go.
There's 1 missing. Oh, did you roll it over?
Yeah, I just knocked it over.
Okay, that's fine. That's
3 re-roll hits. And then wounding on 3s.
Yeah, very good.
And he's got a lieutenant next to him. So re-roll those 2.
So just 2 fails, wasn't it?
Yeah, and that's going to be AP. It's technically heavy, so it's AP -2.
Oh, so that'll just be this many dead. It'll be 6 dead, so we'll take those off in a moment. You've probably got some more DACA coming their way.
So indeed. Heavy bolter.
No take cover for me anymore. Take cover as an order. So I can do it on more units, but I can't do it turn
1.
If someone gets a drop on me turn 1.
Nice, that's interesting. I mean, it's not really the drop on you, it's 1 unit shooting, but I get what you're saying. It's the drop on this squad, isn't it? So he's got a double storm bolter, right?
I believe so. Now that'll be, does he get max shots all the time? I don't think he does. That's just Terminator, so it'll be 4 shots.
That's one by me.
Yeah, it used to be. Dreadnoughts were having a great time. Now...
I don't know why Terminators would be firmer on their feet. 1 because of himself, no. 1
1. AP dash in this case.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll get a 5-up save. No, so I lose another guy. So that's 7 men lost in total. Just to put a little mark there.
His frag storm's gone. It's fine.
You've not fired your frag storm yet. You fired
as in it can't go.
Very good.
I'm over range. So I think that's everything for him.
Okay, very good. So we will remove the casualties, mark up the wounds correctly on the vehicle, and we'll be back with, if you've got any pistol stuff, we'll do that off camera, and we'll be back with the charge and assault phase. Okay, so we're into the charge phase. A little bit of extra info from the shooting phase, though. Johnny remembered that it was the Icarus rocket pod we had. We knew there was an extra gun somewhere, and he got the full 3 shots with it. He got the full 3 hits, 3 wounds, with a reroll, 3 hits, 3 wounds. And then he got 3 kills, so he finished that squad off very nice. 1 dreadnought, 1 squad killed.
Yeah.
Not bad at all.
DACA.
Yeah, exactly. The spare DACA always... you can always pick a guardsman squad up with a bit of spare DACA, can't you?
Yeah.
Even in the new Codex.
Yeah, sure.
So now we've got the charge phase. Now, Johnny, do you want to declare what you're going to charge?
Shoot pistols, but we'll do that off camera.
Okay.
So I'm going to actually risk it, I think, and I'm going to go for... So they are 8 inches and a little bit away from that squad. Now, they've got that...
So be an 8-inch charge, would it?
Be an 8-inch, but because they're blood angels, it's 7.
Okay.
Plus 1 to charge. So I'm going to go for a 7-inch charge, and I'm going to try and hit these 3 squads here.
Very good. Okay, do you want to roll that? Like any pistols or anything we can do off camera. They're only minor.
Exactly. So
yes, that's a fail.
I'll do my reroll. CP.
Different phase, yeah. So we'll take the CP off you in a second.
Come on now.
Oh! So we went back and did the bolt pistols for the Death Company. They were able to kill 4 of the squad from here. I then failed my leadership test, so 1 guy ran away. I had to take the sergeant because I deployed them in a bit of a silly way, and then I lost another guy on the combat attrition. So, but that is the Death Company and Blood Angel turn 1. The guard will do some movement. We'll hopefully show off. We'll show off how fast the guard is now with them vehicles, no longer having to move half. And yeah, we'll be back after that once we've done the command phase and the movement phase. So in guard turn 1 movement and command phase, we had lots of exciting things to do. Our command phase was actually quite busy. So we did some orders. Now, the first order I did was from my command squad that was here, and they issued the order onto an infantry squad that was here, and that allowed, and they did take aim, which means everyone, include these Kazakin and these 3 infantry squads here, can get +1 to hit and +1 AP. Very nice. I then used my Castellans first order to do the same thing on all of these infantry squads down here. And then I also did move on 2 squads. And these 2 squads moved over here to take the objectives. So that was my infantry orders. Didn't need my Commissar order this turn. He's just hanging out, just doing his thing, but didn't need him just yet. And then we did the tank orders. Now, what I did is I used my tank commander to issue the order, pound them into dust, and in a way that it could affect the Devil Dog and the Executioner. What that means is for their blast weapons, they're going to count the number of models in the enemy squad as double, which means that basically I'll be getting max shots with my blast weapons, which is very, very nice. So that is what we've ended up with. That is the movement and the command phase. Now it's time. There's no psychic today. No psychic for either side. So now we're going to go into the shooting phase. So the first tank that we're going to fire, I think it's time to crank out one of these Vanquisher shells. So we're going to shoot this Vanquisher cannon here at the Dreadnought over here. So it's going to be hitting on a 3 thanks to turret weapon, but that will be 4 because the Dreadnought does have a toe in the dense cover. So let's see what we get. It's a 5, so we've got the hit. Now it's going to be, it's strength 14, so it's going to be wounding you on 2s. And it's got the wound. Now it's going to be AP -5, which becomes AP -4, but means you don't get a save. So it's like a rail cannon Fatal.
And we're not in cover as well.
Your vehicles don't get the benefit of light cover. That's just infantry. So that's just going to go straight through. So that's going to be... I'd have to check the damage on this thing. It's quite good, though. So it's D3 plus 6 damage, and then D3 mortal wounds on top of that. So the D3 damage is 2, so that's going to be 8 damage on the Dreadnought, which it then reduces down to 7 damage. And then the D3 mortal wounds on top is the big 3. So one Vanquisher cannon has just taken 10 wounds off that Redemptor Dreadnought. Spicy. We've then got the Las cannon coming in. Now this will be only hitting on a 5. I did get the hit though, so it's a 5. And then I need to wound on a 3. I've got the wound. Now, Johnny will get a save against this. It will become AP2 thanks to Armor of Contempt, which he passes. So the Las Cannon is absorbed by the Dreadnought armor. Okay, next up, we've got the next Vanquisher Cannon. Going to try and do the same thing, hitting on a 4 thanks to the turret weapon. Now, that is a 3, so I'm going to use my Regimental Doctrine Elite Shock Troops to get my free reroll. 3 into a 3, so it doesn't quite hit. I think Vanquishers are really good, but I think you need more than 2 of them to make sure you get them hits in. I then got the Las Cannon in the hull, which misses because Tank Commanders now only hit on 4's base. They only get that extra ballistic skill for the turret. So that Tank Commander has done nothing. So next up, we've got the 3 Las Cannons from the Sentinels. They are going to go into the Dreadnought. Now, they're going to be hitting on 5s. I've got the 1 hit. Now I need to wound on a 3. I've got the wound, Johnny. You need to make a 5-up save. Can you get another 5-up? Nope. Do you want to CP? You would have 2, technically.
No, I need it.
Need it for later. Okay, so damage on this is D6. Roll off the table. Try again. It's 5. That becomes 4. And that Dreadnought will be popped. Do you want to see if it explodes? No, it just falls over. So that is the Sentinels and the Vanquishers done. We'll do some of the other big shots, and then we'll do the rest off camera. So what we're going to do is we're going to show off one of these Cadian shock troop squads. We're going to start just blasting all our little bits into these Death Company, and then we'll come back and then we'll do the rest of them off camera so we can see what the cumulative damage is. But didn't want to do all 10 squads on camera because I thought that would get a little bit wearing quickly. So we'll do the Melter Gun squad first. So these guys are going to have 2 shots. They're going to be hitting on 3s thanks to Take Aim. They've got 2 hits. They're going to be, one of those is a Hammer of the Emperor. I had forgotten about that actually. And then we're going to have a one that needs to wound on a 2. So that has wounded. Now these are going to be AP5 thanks to Take Aim. So they're going to go straight through. So that's going to be the first one kills a guy, and the second one kills a guy. So that, oh, well, maybe not. You do get some feel no pains. Now, you will be a melter range for both of those. So the first one's going to take 4 feel no pains. The second one's going to take 5 feel no pains. Move out your way so you can get some dice. So the first guy hasn't made it, and you need another dice for the second guy. And he hasn't made it either. So look at those special weapons hitting on 3s. Ooh, it's very nice. It's very, very nice. So we'll do the lasguns and stuff off camera, but yeah, that is just going to show how big it is being able to take 2 special weapons and being able to hit on 3s of them. People were saying they missed their veteran squads. I think you can basically recreate them with take aim and some Cadian shock troops. So I've just come back with the filming. I've fired 3 infantry squads at these Death Company, and there's only 1 of them left. Holy shit, guys. Me and Johnny were like, oh, we'll film all the little stuff off camera, because even though it's like new lasguns, it's lasguns. It always takes hundreds and hundreds of them to clear out a unit of Death Company.
Reroll 1's crazy. Reroll
1s plus hitting on 3s is big times, man. Big time.
Plus Hammer of the Emperor on 6.
Plus Hammer of the Emperor, plus the guardsmen lasguns getting like exploding 6s because of being shock troops. It's just we didn't even do the exploding 6s on lasguns, did we? We actually forgot about that. So
for one of the squads, I think.
Yeah. So honestly, it's just this is brutal. This is brutal firepower. Now bear in mind, many of these squads might not be here if Johnny had made his charge, but also bear in mind this is just 3 squads. I could have achieved that with these units back here and these units back here. Like, guard spare firepower seems to be doing stuff at the moment. And if they get rid of if the room of them getting rid of armor contempt is true, this would have been an absolute joke. It would have been just not even mentionable. You know what I mean? It would have been stupid. So because these guys are doing so well, I've decided I'm going to switch on to the Ogrins just to show off what they can do. Because this is the only target they've got. They're going to try and kill this last Death Company guy. Now Ogrins hit on 4s with their Ripper guns. They've got an 18-inch range. We've assumed that heirloom weapons doesn't affect them because they're abhumans and they don't benefit from regiment traits now. And so they hit on 4s. Their strength 5 to the win on 3s. They're now AP -2, 2 damage each. So they've had a big upgrade. I've been saying for a while, Ogrins are better. So even they should kill this one guy, and we'll see how many wounds they actually do overall, just to sort of show off on camera. So again, I'm not sure if they're going to benefit from hammer, so we'll just take that out for now, because they don't seem to have the regimental doctrine sort of keyword, so we've not given them an order or anything like that. So that's the number of hits they've got. And this is the number of wounds that they get. And then Johnny has to roll that many 4-up saves. Now this is for example of killing a unit of, of intercessors or death company, something like that. So that's 1, 2, 3 fails. That would be, 3 Marines just killed really easily. Obviously, Johnny, you get to make lots of attempts on Feel No Pain now. See if this guy just eats through it. Nope. So he's gone. So that's a good example. Previously, Ogrin just wouldn't have done anything. They would have only been 1 damage. They would have only been AP 1. Whereas now, they've just been able to, handily contribute their firepower to something. So great to see that the big lads seem to have had a big improvement. In my mind, Ogrin's better than Vulgrins now. So the next bit of shooting that I'm going to do is the Executioner Plasma Cannon going into the Sanguinary Guard over here. Now, interesting note, if this had been the old Codex, I wouldn't have been able to get the angle on them and get my double shots, because I would have my tank was back here. He would have only been able to move about 5 inches to there, and then that would have been it. If he wanted to get an angle, he would have had to double move, and then his firepower is nowhere near as good. Now, he just trundled all the way up to here. He can poke his, he can see through the terrain because he's in it. He can poke his sponson through here, and he can happily shoot this back Sanguinary Guard there. It's just, I know a lot of people are saying that they're missing grinding advance, but for me personally, the extra movement and just the flat out more reliable shots just feels better. And less messing around as well. So because of my order pound them into dust, I get to count that Sanguinary Guard unit as having, what is it, like 18 models in it? Which means that I will get max shots for my gun. So I'm going to be hitting on 3s. I will be overcharging, so any 1s will do a mortal wound to me, and I'll have 1 free reroll because of elite shock troops. So let's see what we get. Oh, it's a lot of 1s. It's a hell of a lot of 1s. The Executioner absolutely cooking himself. So we'll reroll. I don't believe I get to reroll these with the Castellan because A, I'm not in range, and B, if I was, I don't believe Liam must have core, so he wouldn't get to benefit from that. So he has rerolled one of those sections. So he's done 3 wounds to himself. He's got 2 misses. He's got 1 Hammer of the Emperor, and then he gets to wound on 2s. Oh, another 2 1s. Terrible. Terrible display. Shameful display from the Eradicator. So these will be 2 at -4, which becomes...
Why -4?
Because it's -4 now. So you will get -2 off that. So it's 4 ups, yeah. No. So they're 3 damage each, so that's going to kill 2.
No, it's not.
You got Feel No Pain, crack it on there. 3 damage each because of the new profile. Kills 1. Yay! It doesn't kill the other one. All right. So the rest of the firepower, guys, I'm probably going to do... Yeah, well, that's the thing. Yeah, so the rest of the firepower, I'm probably going to do off camera. I've got the Hellhound, the Devil Dog, which are going to try and kill the tactical squad there. And we've got the Hydra, which is just going to fire some super long range shots down here to that guy there. So that will be all of my shooting, and then that will be it. So that is the shooting from the Eradicator. I think it has the potential to do a lot more damage than that. It's a shame that it ended up hurting itself quite badly. What we're going to do next is we're going to do...
Such a shame.
Such a shame. So what we'll do next is we will do the... I think we're going to go for the Devil Dog. And he's going to... Devil Dog. And he's going to try and kill that squad of tactical marines there. Now, again, he's going to get max shots because because of the order. He's going to count that as maximum 3 shots. So that will be 3s hitting on 3 shots hitting on 3s. Oh my god, turret weapons let me down. Just the 1 hit. Winning on 2s. He does get the wound. It's AP 4. You have one guy in cover if you want to use him for a 5-up save. And then you have 4 guys which will be on a 6-up save.
I'll just go for a 6-up save guy.
Okay. Nope. And that does D6 plus 2 damage. It's just going to kill 1 unless you've got Feel No Pain there.
Maybe.
The tactical squad. Do you want to check it out?
I think I'm just in range of that guy.
Okay, I shall roll the damage, which means it will be 6 Feel No Pains on that one guy.
I have faith in the Emperor.
My faith is my shield. Well, my shield is an actual shield. Oh, he's very dead. He is just dust. All right, and then we've got the Hellhound next. And that's going to be 2d6 shots. No way of influencing this. It's 11. Excellent. So we will get the dice together for that, and we're back in a moment. So here are the dice. I am wounding on 3s because it auto hits. So 1 fail, 2 fail. And then that is 9 wounds. And these are AP -2 now. Still only 1 damage, though. So you've got a guy who's in cover who would take this on a 3-up, or you've got guys out in the open that takes on a 4-up. But once you've got allocated to that 3-up guy, he's got to keep taking it.
I'll go 4-ups.
Okay, so you can do these.
I want my Feel No Pain.
Yeah, okay. He's okay. He's okay. Keep going.
I'm going to keep
1 wound, Feel No Pain.
Come on, give me that 6, baby. No.
Takes a wound.
Takes a wound.
He takes a wound.
Does he? Yes.
He does.
He's dead. Okay, and then just the last tactical guy.
Takes a wound. And he does take it, so we'll get a little green dice to mark up his wounds.
You can't see me now.
No, I don't think so. I think I can also... I should have the Heavy Flamer from the Hellhound in range because it'll be a 16-inch Heavy Flamer thanks to heirloom weapons. So we'll see how many shots I get for that. 4 dice, please. Wounding on 3s, 3 wounds, and you will be on 3-ups because you're just out in the open, but it's AP1, so you don't get
come on.
2 wounds go through, and then 6s. No, so you take, 1 guy dies.
That's it, it's on him, right?
Yeah, but you took 2 wounds, so 1 guy dies and one guy takes the wound that he had. And that is probably all of my shooting. Sadly, didn't get to use the Hydra this turn. Couldn't quite see Johnny's Eradicators down there. And didn't get to use some of the other bits because obviously the Death Company died, which I wasn't expecting them to die so quickly. The Eradicator doing lots of wounds herself was a bit of a shame. But apart from that, I think that's a pretty good debut. The Vanquisher Cannons did very well. But we'll have to see how well we can survive this Blood Angel punch. So we're going into their turn in just a moment. So in the Blood Angel command and movement phase, they had lots of activity going on. So in the command phase, this squad was given the stratagem that puts them in every doctrine. So they're in the assault, the tactical, the devastator, they're in every doctrine. They just love doctrines. And then these guys were put into the assault doctrine thanks to the sanguinary priest. Very, very nice. Now in terms of movement, as you can see, the remaining tactical marines have moved forward to give a little bit of fire support to their sanguinary guard brethren. It's a big old Sangard push. Johnny is deciding to go all in. I think it's actually a clever move.
I can't reach the tactics. It's a difficult one. I can't reach the targets I'd like to reach necessarily. I'd like the Death Company to have cleared the path, but you know, we've got to start doing some work.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. So these guys, I think Joe's intention is to sort of shoot some here and then jump over here and try and take me off some objectives, which are pretty cool. And I think these guys are probably just going to smash up as much as they can. Now, moving over here for the rest of the movement, the Eradicator squads have moved forward. One had to advance, which is this one at the front, I believe. And the one behind didn't have to advance. But that means that, do you say like 4 were in range overall?
4 shots in range. So I'm going to target the whole squad with that unit, but and one will be out.
Yeah, no worries. So you have loads of shots coming here. They're going to try and pick up those armored sentinels because they are actually surprisingly good.
Cheeky lieutenant sneaking along here.
Very nice.
He's just getting to him within a little, ready for a charge against these guys potentially.
Can you do that this turn, or is that an advance?
Not
now. Not now. Okay.
Ready.
And then the other little there's one tactical squad still holding the objective. Johnny, very grateful I didn't bring any indirect fire this game. And the other tactical squad has moved forward again, provide a little bit of supporting fire down on the flank. I mean, you've got to get every bolt round you can in there. You've just left a Sandguard behind there, Johnny, so just pick him up. And that is the Blood Angel movement phase and command phase. So now we'll be back with some shooting because they've got no psychic. So we're going to show the Eradicators on camera, and then we're going to do all of the bolt rounds off camera, just see how many guardsmen and stuff Johnny picks up. So which squad is shooting first? Advance or non-advance?
The back squad will shoot first. 4 shots.
That'll be 4 shots because one of them isn't in range. That is 4 hits. Very nice.
It's nice that your sentinels are 1 squad for once.
Yes, very good. That'll be 3 wounds. Now that'll be AP 4. That becomes AP 3, which means I will get a 6-up save against this. So see if I stop any. I stop 1. So you get to do, is it D6 damage with each one?
Yeah, 2D6.
Ah, the classic. A CP reroll there, or do you want to save it? Okay, so he's just done 2 wounds to the first sentinel. We'll put a little marker down here.
3 shots.
And then he's got the next squad. Now, do they not get more than 3? Or?
No, they're advanced.
Okay. They do get the wound.
Okay, 6. No.
Nope, don't get my 6. Get the damage. That is 5. That's just enough. Sentinels have got 7 wounds now. So if you got a 4, I wouldn't have lost one.
That's nice.
But as
7 wounds on a sentinel.
Yeah, they're pretty tough now. They're pretty tough. So that one has. Oh, does it explode? Still explodes.
Do me a favour.
It does not. So this sentinel is going to die. So we've lost sentinel, and we'll do the rest of the Dakar.
Eradicate squad, sentinel.
Yeah, baby! All right, and then we'll be back once the Dakar has finished over here, and we'll see what it's like when the dust is settled. Okay, so going into the Blood Angel assault phase, we have got a unit of Sanguinary Guard, which are going to be going into these 4 infantry squads here.
I'll do that
and
now,
then we've also... Do you want to do that one first?
Yeah,
okay.
We'll just do it one
so we've measured it, and this will be a 6-inch charge to get the further squad, because it's within...
I have a reroll for everyone now.
It has a reroll.
Come on. Oh, he just makes it. Tease me with the 1. Woo.
Just makes it. Do you want to re-roll that?
I'm all right. I'm not going to push it.
All right, and then you've got this, which is... Now, these guys will be going into these 3 vehicles, which will be...
2 vehicles in the infantry.
Yeah.
6 as well.
Now, I will be overwatching with the Hellhound, but you can resolve your charge first. So you will get in, and then I will get to do 2d6 Hellhound shots at you, which is just 4, so not very good. Could I use a CP there? I have to CP both dice. I think I'm okay with that. I'm going to CP both, so this will cost me 2 CP in total. Puts me on 9, much better. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4. So that is 9. Now this will be wounding on 3s. So that's 2 wounds. Now this is AP 2.
2 fails.
Yeah, 2 fails, sorry. So that'll be, it's AP 2 because AP 1, so this will be 3 ups. Makes
nice.
It all. Makes it all. And then I've got my heavy flamer. 6 shots. 1 fail, but these will be 2 ups though.
Just 6 up for my pain.
No.
So
So
it
it takes a wound. I was hoping for a little bit more than that, but Johnny did pretty well on his saves. I was hoping to kill maybe a couple of them.
Go for this squad here through the wall.
Okay, well, do you want to move your guys first? But yeah, do what the roll is. They're not going to make it.
Okay, reroll. Okay. The old Beacon of the Angel.
Yeah,
no,
not
that'll
going
be
to
a
be enough either
fail.
way.
And then I've got the priest coming into this squad here.
So priest coming
6,
into here.
That's easy there.
That should be enough, and then we'll measure it in a second, and then do your
6 without the bonuses. And then the captain is going to. He's going to stay quite central. I was going to charge over here somewhere. I think I'll stick here so I can keep those reroll ones spread around.
Okay.
And he's in.
Okay. So Johnny, do all your movement there, and then we'll start doing some attacks. So Johnny has elected to fight with this unit of Sanguinary Guard first. He is splitting his attacks in every direction. So he's going to have 2 guys attacking this squad back here. That's going to be 10 attacks to get 3 base, +1 for charging, +1 for being Blood Angels in the Assault Doctrine. He's then going to have 2 attacks come on, 2 guys come on here, which is another 10 attacks onto this squad here. And then he's going to have 3 guys coming onto the squad that is protecting the character. So that would be 15 attacks there. And he's going to have 1 chap attacking the squad back here, but he will have the priest come in to support them as well. So, Johnny, do you want to get your groups of dice ready?
I'm just arranging these slightly differently just for coherency, but obviously they can hit the same people. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's fine. Don't worry about it too much, man. We're not too fussy.
Right, okay. It's just you know, people like it right, don't they? Right, okay. So first, I'll do this squad here. I'll just move along like that. So 1, 2, 3. Do you want to do this squad here first? 4, 5. Yeah, I can do whatever you like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10. I'm
just going to bring the tray here so it's a little bit more, better
these
angle.
2 men first, striking into this squad. Hitting on 2s, because within 6 of the captain.
Very nice.
And re-rolling 1s, obviously.
Very nice.
So, lots of 1s, but we'll re-roll those.
Okay, a couple of misses.
2 1s, what can you do?
And then wounding on 2s.
And it'll be killing on 2s, I imagine.
Yeah.
So that's 8 dead.
That's 8 dead. Okay, so we'll just take the couches off in a second, but I will put a couple of, you give me these orange dice here. I'm going to put a little 8 next to that squad so we know what they've got going on.
Okay, next squad, this guy into here.
Same again. Couple of misses.
Let's do a full squad this time.
Okay, then you got some. There's one that you knock it over.
I feel like
I feel like you only had 2, so you must have knocked it over.
I feel like I only had 2, yeah. Okay. Maybe we're both looking, aren't we? People can tell.
So that's 8 again.
8 again.
Easy to remember.
Then the next is 15 we need to do. So I'll need... you
can use those 2, we're not using them.
I need plenty more dice. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, we'll just pause and give you a chance to get... Okay, so here come the 15 attacks. Got a miss.
These guys are rolling the best of all.
4 hits, and now you just need to make sure you don't roll 6 ones.
6 ones. It can be done.
No, so that squad's just gone. Easy enough to remember. And then we've got the 5 guys attacking the 5 attacks attacking the last squad there. 4 hits. He's an angry boy. He's the injured one. So that's 5 dead there. So we will take those couches away and we'll be back in just a moment. So that's what it looks like once the hacking and slashing has finished for the Sangard. Lots of cleared space, but a few Shatter Guards and squads still rocking around. We've then got the Sanguinary Priest. He has 5 attacks. 6 attacks, is it?
No, 5. 1, 2, 3. Is he? He can't be caught, can he? No.
No. So 3 hits.
4 hits. He hits on 2s.
Oh, very nice.
For the Emperor.
3 wounds. What's the AP?
The AP is just 1.
Okay, so I'll get some 6-ups against this. Nope. So again, there's 2 guys left in the squad, and I shall keep a Vox and a Plasma because there's no point in keeping the Sergeant around, guys, because morale is already past the point of the Sergeant mattering. Yeah, it's already past that point.
Okay, I'll do the Captain.
Okay, we'll just keep it going if you're ready.
So 4 attacks base, right? +1.
Yeah.
2.
Is it a special Thunderhammer or a regular Thunderhammer?
It's just a regular leg.
So hitting on 3s.
It's nice.
Yeah, and then wounding on 2s. And then AP.
-3.
So it becomes -2. Is this flat? What damage is this?
12.
Okay. So I make one of them and take 9 damage. I'll have 2 wounds left on the Hellhound.
Alright, okay, I'll go with the Sangard.
Okay, let me just mark that up and then we're back in a second. Okay, so the Sanguinary Guard will be doing, what was it, 3 guys into here, is it? And then 4 guys into this Devil Dog, and then 2 guys into the Hellhound?
Yeah, something like that. I think it's 4 into here.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4. 3 into here. And 2 into here.
Okay, okay, so 4, 3, 2. 4, 3. So do you want to start with the infantry squad first?
Can do. So that's going to be 20 attacks. 15, 20. Probably didn't need to make them every doctrine, but it is what it is.
It is now, yeah.
I just want to make sure. So they are re-rolling 1s because they are within range of the captain still, and they are hitting on 2s
Nice.
because they're within range of El Pristo, El Padre.
That's 1 miss.
That's 1 miss.
And then killing on 2s. Very nice. So that'll be the squad gone. So we'll take this off in a moment.
Okay. Then 3 onto the tank with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 15 attacks. 15.
Yeah.
Okay, so this will be hitting on 3s, wounding on, well, I've got 2 axes going into him.
Okay.
But I don't think it makes a difference at all. It's all force, I believe.
It should, yes, force the wound, but it might be different AP.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. Well, it's all, I'm in the assault doctrine with these guys.
Yeah, so it'll be
maybe.
AP3, which become AP2.
Yeah,
and the swords will be
okay.
AP4, which become AP3.
Well, I'll just take half of these massive.
Did you hit with
sixes.
everyone? Did you hit with
Yes.
everyone? So it doesn't matter, yeah. So just work, yeah, you can just work it out now. So how many attacks? So it'll be 5. How many axes are going in?
I'll make those the axes and those the swords. There's 2 axes, 2 axes, 1 sword.
Okay.
Is that alright with you?
Yeah, I mean that's how. Yeah, I mean you hit with everything, so you just need
It's
to work
minus
out.
1, but so it's 3 and 2.
Oh,
3 and 3,
okay,
does that make
okay,
sense?
okay, yeah.
Okay, so this is
Winning on 4s.
this is winning on 4s, and this is AP minus 4.
So these are swords, are they?
Yes, that's 3.
Okay.
That's
Needing 6s.
mhm.
Nope.
So that's 6 damage.
Yep. So it's still going. Just.
And then oh, well that's all wounding apart from that one.
Okay, and these are 5-ups.
Yeah.
Nope. So that one is going to go. And then does it explode? It does not.
And then I've got just 2 guys on this last one. 15 attacks.
It's an axe and a sword. Or is it 2 swords?
It's an axe and a sword. I have them ready.
So do your sword first.
Sword first, if that's what you desire, sir.
That's the way we seem to have been doing it. So.
Yeah. And then, so 4s.
Very nice. So I just need. You might even need to roll your axe. You do not. So then, does this one explode? No, that's a shame. They both explode on 5s now, so it's a shame that they didn't go off. So that is just all that cleared up. That is the Blood Angel combat phase. The captain doesn't even need to do anything. So we will move that. Johnny
He swung already.
Oh, did he? Oh, yeah, he did. He knocked off the majority of the wounds, didn't he? So we'll clear all that up, and we'll see where what the board looks like going into guard turn 2. Okay, and after we've done all the remaining little bits of consolidation for the Blood Angels, they have managed to tag this Lehman Russ here, and they've also managed to tag this unit of guardsmen there, and obviously there's nothing left alive over here to tag. So the Sanguinary Guard have done what they do, but to be honest, if I'm able to... I've only had 1 turn of firepower. If I'm able to now do some serious firepower to these guys, then hopefully we'll see...
It'll swing straight back around.
Swing straight back around. Basically, with Blood Angels, it always comes down to that turn 2. Whether you're fighting them or whether you are them, it always comes down to that turn 2. So we will do the guard command, our movement phase, and we're back once we finish that. So guard turn 2, we've not got a lot left, but hopefully by the time we've finished, neither will the Blood Angels. So what we've done is we have, in our command phase, issued out our orders, and what we've managed to do is give reroll 1s to hit to these units here, which is really, really good. Now
to get those orders off that go off with that roll.
Yeah, baby. This guy unfortunately did have to fall back, and there was nothing I could do about that. I did and ah about it, but I think it's better for me to pick up all of this stuff. And if I have anything spare, I'll go into the Sanguinary Guard over here. Now, in terms of the infantry orders, basically everyone was able to either take aim, or those units that needed to were able to get back in the fight. So we're having a good time. We're having a good time. Now, that is my movement phase. Now it's time for the shooting phase. Now, what I want to open up with first is, I think I'm going to open it with things like the Bulgrin and the Hydra.
I've stood. Let us fight.
Because they are AP2 and they're 2 damage each. So they should actually be able to get a really decent amount of shots going into the Sanguinary Guard. So you've picked up all my dice. I'm going to need those.
Yeah, I'm touching them before you roll them. So
well, that's very unsportsmanlike of you. Yeah. That's very, people will comment, you know.
Oh, that's fine.
Okay, so we'll
go.
go.
What they say. You're my little brother. I can do what I like.
We'll go. We'll go for the. We'll go for the Hydra first. Now he's going to be hitting on 3s and re-rolling 1s thanks to the order. So I got 1, 2, I got 1 Hammer of the Emperor, and I got 2 re-rolls. Neither of those translated, sadly. Johnny's dice touching coming in. And then wounds, I got 4 wounds. Now, each one of these will be, after all modifiers taken into account, will give you a 3-up save.
3-up save. On this squad over here.
On this squad over here.
Hiya!
Hey, so he's passed the first thing. Very nice. And then we've got the heavy blotter coming in here. We'll have a Hammer of the Emperor and a hit. No, it's a whole weapon, so it won't hit. So just 1 Hammer of the Emperor. 2-up save. Against this, my good sir. Yeah, it's very good. So sad, I was hoping for a bit more from the Hydra there. Sadly, it didn't do what I wanted it to. But what we will do now, I'm thinking maybe Ogrins? Oh, no, maybe the Ogres would actually be probably pretty good going into here. You know what? I'm going to go for the Kazakin next. I'm going to go for the Kazakin. Now, they will have take aim, so they're going to be hitting on 2s. And they're going to be re-rolling 1s to hit. Because of the...
That's my style.
And they're going to be re-rolling 1s to wound.
No should be that good.
And they're re-rolling 1s to wound as well, thanks to the Regimental Standard.
Turns out you don't need to go through all the blooming Space Marine training.
You just need to go through your planet dying. I mean, come on, give them a chance. No. All right, so... First plasma gun gets a hit and a reroll. Yeah, so 1 hammer.
People have had that. 1
Hammer of the Emperor, 1 hit, and then we've got the next one. 1 Hammer of the Emperor, 1 hit, and then we've got a plasma pistol on the Sergeant. Get to reroll it.
Come on, get a 1. Oh.
Nope. So he gets to hit.
I'm fully ruining all gaming etiquette this turn.
You are. So then these get to wound. That gets to reroll because of the banner. So that is 5 at -4, which one's -3, so 5 ups.
5 ups.
Yeah.
Damage 3, you said.
Damage 2.
Ah.
Okay, so you've passed 2 of them.
Okay.
You've got a guy on 1 wound who has to bite this first.
Okay.
So he does die.
He does die, unfortunately. Yeah. He's choosing my 6s up.
Yes. Next one.
Fat hobbit.
He does live. And then the next one.
All I need now is a double 6.
No. So you've lost 2.
I will accept that.
Okay, I've still got more shooting to go. So
that is fine. Just gonna...
Do you want to... I mean, you've got to take... Do after. Let me do one more dice and take your casualties afterwards.
That's fine.
So then I've got the Melters. 1 Hammer of the Emperor, 1 hit. 1 wound. So those are going to be at -5, so 2 6-ups. No. And then the damage is D6 + 2 because we're at Melter range. So 8.
It's 5 ups.
No, -5 because of take aim. Get +1 AP and +1 to hit. So 1 guy's taking 8 feel no pain, 1 guy's taking 7. You just want to say they're dead just to make it a bit quicker. You can roll it if you like. 1 guy's dead. Okay, so you've lost 4 guys in total because you've got 2 from the plasma, 2 from the melter. And then I've got the hotshot sniper. Now this will be hitting on a 2 because even though I've moved, I've got the warrior elite ability, a brutal strength. So he gets the hit, and then he'll be wounding on a 4. He gets the wound. This will be AP3, becomes AP2. And you pass, just. Is it AP? No, definitely it's only AP2. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so then we've got the Hotshot las guns. And so I'll tell you what, I'll get my dice together for that, and we're back in just a moment. This is the Hotshot las guns. Oh, I should have used something before I rolled.
It's too late.
No, I haven't seen it. I'm going to spend...
I've seen it. They've seen it.
I'm going to spend 2 CP. For you. I haven't used any stratagems yet. You give me take 2 CP off me, please, Johnny. I'll be on 5. And I'm going to use overcharged las cells, which means 6s to wound will give me a mortal wound in addition. Okay? So, I didn't get any hammers, but I did get 1. So that actually doesn't get the opportunity to do a mortal wound. We're not Votan. And then these ones will do 1 mortal wound in addition. And I think that's it. I haven't got any. Yeah, they're only strength. Oh no, they're strength. No, they're strength 3 hotshot lasguns. So you've got 1 mortal wound and 2 saves.
Yeah.
And you're fine. So you've just taken a mortal wound. So this one of this guy here is going to be wounded. Okay, that did cost me 2 CP. I should be on 5 because I gained from the beginning of the turn for my command points. Okay, so those Kazakin did quite well. Pretty happy with that. All right, what we're going to do is I'm going to do some other little bits and we'll see what's left once I've done my little scraplets. Wowzers, trousers, after the dust has settled. Johnny's just like, PG rated channel, man. No, it's not really. Fucking hell. After the dust has settled, look at the damage we have done. Me and Joy just kept rolling those dice because it was just so like impressive seeing. This is a battered guard army and we picked up all the Sandguard but 1 over here. We killed the captain. The Ogrins did 4 wounds to him and some lasguns finished him off. And then over here, this was mostly done by a couple of infantry squads and a couple of vanquishers. Vanquishers might only, you know, be able to splat 1 guy at a time, but those mortal wounds as well meant that 2 vanquishers ended up killing 5 sanguinary guards. It's actually pretty good.
+1 hit, +1 AP orders. Very strong.
Very, very strong. I mean, it kind of makes up the fact that first rank fast rank fire is basically terrible now, but it's very strong. Very, very strong. And then, so all I've got left is my charge phase. And what I'm going to do is, even though the enemy have got Armor of Contempt, I'm going to charge the Ogrin into these guys here. I'm hopefully going to beat the crap out of the Sanguinary Priest. And I'm hoping that my now inbuilt reduced damage by 1 will mean that this guy won't be able to like slaughter the whole squad of Ogrin on his own. There will be some morale for Johnny to do as well. But yeah, overall, wow. I mean, if this guy hadn't been tagged in combat, I think we would have seen every single Sanguinary Guard killed then with change. I mean, that would have been insane because he would have done loads of them on his own.
It's the way they do it, though, isn't it? They butcher stuff and tag stuff.
Yeah. So the Guard have definitely got the firepower. The Blood Angels are going to be massively leading in terms of points, but the Guard have definitely done a lot of damage. It's only turn 2, so hopefully turn 4, turn 5. We can start bringing things back. But we've got that charge coming in here first with the Ogrin. Now that's gonna go very nicely. So I'll move them in.
I don't wish to alarm you.
You don't wish to alarm me? What do you think?
I'm going to heroically intervene these guys into
how far is that heroic intervention?
6 inches.
Ah, very good. I didn't know they could do that. So we will be back in just a moment.
No, not an evil laugh. I am not the dark.
You are the Chaos one.
I'm not the Chaos one. Everyone knows you're the Chaos one.
Nice. Yeah, well, I'm going to Chaos Guard. I mean, I've got Death Guard, so the evidence isn't looking great. So we will do our respective heroics and whatnot, and we'll be back in just a moment. So I have spent a CP for Thunderous Charge, which means I will get 5 attempts to do mortal wounds to this Sanguinary Guard. And I have done 4 mortal wounds to him. So he will get a 6 of Feel No Pain, though. He'll get 4 6 of Feel No Pains.
Oh, these I'm going to use different dice. You just rolled 6s on those dice.
Yes. Sadly not. So we have thunderously charged that guy. Just like literally, they just ran over and they didn't even see him. They're like,
thunderously farted on him.
Thunderously farted on him. And then we will get the attacks together and see what we can do to Sanguinary Priest. It's only AP -1, but it is like 4 attacks a dude. So it's pretty good. So we'll just see what they do and we'll see if they manage to kill him.
Nothing is what they will do.
Ah. So end of Guard turn 2. After we had done all of the combats, the Ogrins actually did a really respectful amount of wounds to the Sanguinary Priest, but Armor Contempt and the fact they're only AP -1 in combat meant that he stuck around. But he did take 2 wounds, so he's got 2 left. And then he in return did 2 wounds to an Ogrin who has got 1 wound left. Over here, the Sandguard healthily and handily beat up the squad of guardsmen, but then in the morale phase, they lost a guy. Johnny re-rolled it. They still lost a guy.
Annoying, because 2 men can easily butcher a squad.
Yeah, exactly. So it's interesting to see how that happened. Now, that meant that he failed Oath of Moment.
Did you do on all of your little bits?
I used the Commissar thing to pass one of them, but I think I probably needed to do morale on some other ones.
I felt like you should have done more.
I tell you what, I had 3 leadership checks to take. I'll use the Commissar ability on 1, take 2 CP off me, I'll do a once per game thing there, and I will roll it for one of my other squads. I'll just do it now. It shouldn't make a difference to the end result, but we'll just do that off camera, so that's not a problem.
It just struck me then. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right. So so we've caught that, guys. Anyone that was typing that in the comment section, we've caught that.
Delete your comment.
Delete your comment.
It's done.
Get out of there. Get out of here. Get off my eye holes. All right. So we are now. So the guard have done a lot of damage, and we've got a lot of damage dealers left. Of course, there are some eradicators coming in, but we can see what we can do about them. Now, what's interesting is we're going into Blood Angels turn 3. What a turn 1 and 2. I mean, guys, look at the damage that both armies have inflicted on each other. Guard, anyone worried about grinding advance going, don't be. We still got that damage output in spades.
Points,
the points are definitely in Johnny's favour. He's going to get 12 for primary this turn. Though I've been smashing my flexible command and I've been smashing my boots on the ground as well. So we'll see how it goes. So we will be back after Blood Angels command and movement phase. Let's see what Johnny's going to do. So end of the Blood Angels command and movement phase. In the command phase, there wasn't a whole lot for them to do. They're in the Assault Doctrine now, so there's not much for that Sang Priest to really crack on with or for Johnny to spend his CP on. In terms of movement, Mr. Sangard jumped over here. He's just on the prowl. He's on the prowl. He's got many targets of opportunity. He's just going to see what he does. We've then got the Blade Guard who have moved up here. Now, I thought Johnny was going to keep them holding that centre objective for his oath and stuff. But instead, he's gone, you know what? Those tactical marines will come up. I'm really noticing not having indirect fire this game. I wanted to take some other stuff I haven't seen in a while. I am definitely noticing it. Indirect fire is still really, really important. So when you're building your 9th edition guard list, make sure you're still putting a couple of battle lists in there. We then had a couple of tactical marines coming up to support the Sang Priest. The Sang Priest did stay in combat, FYI. And then the Eradicators came up here and the Lieutenant came up here, and they have got some eyes over here. I imagine the Lieutenant's probably going to want to have a little word with these chaps down here.
For sure.
So, like I said, the way I think this game's going to go is I think that it's going to come down to turn 4 and 5 for the guard to try and pull back some points, and then we'll see if they can do it. But it's actually really close. I mean, Johnny was always going to be ahead in turns 1 to 3. We'll have to see if the old Imperial line can hold a little bit longer. So let us see what you're going to do. You've got some shooting.
I'm doing my Eradicators right now.
I'll tell you what, we'll pause it there just for the cut, and then we will be back with the Eradicator shooting. So Johnny has declared that he's going to do his Eradicators into this Lemurus here, and I have popped 2 stratagems. I have popped for 1 CP smokescreen, which means that I'm now -1 to hit, and I've also popped ablative plating, which reduces all incoming damage by 1 to a minimum of 1. So they're pretty tough. Right. So is this the first squad?
Yeah, 4s.
Okay, so that did save me one of them hits, which is nice. And then it's going to be 4s again, because it's a strength 8 toughness 8. Nothing. Oh, okay. So now we've got the next squad. Same job. Okay, it's 3 hits again. It did that save me 2 hits. So that smokescreen saving me 3 melter hits. Now that is 2 wounds. Now I will get a save. Now these are AP.
I'm gonna.
You do a CP. You can reroll it.
CP. I've got 2 at the start.
You've got 2 at the start of the turn. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, so that puts me on 3 wounds. Now, could you please get me 3 white dice, please? Excellent. These are -4, which will become -3, which will become 3 5-up saves. I saved 2 of them. Now, one of those is going to get through. D6 damage, which would be 4, but that becomes 3. So I still have 10 wounds left on that Russ, because Russes have now got 13 wounds. Very, very doable. A lot of people were saying, oh, is the Russ going to get replaced by the Rogal Dawn? In my opinion, it will not, because it's so cheap, it's so spammable, and it gets just as many benefits as the Rogal Dawn does. So I'm a big believer in Russ spam still, and that, I think, is a great example of it. So that is 2 squads of Eradicators fired. We'll do the rest.
3 wounds at a Lehman Rush.
I know, right? But I did spend 3 CP to achieve that, so it's not like it was a freebie that I got.
Right, well, we may as well do Master and shooting off camera because it's not much.
Exactly. Various bolt pistols, maybe a couple of plasma shots, and then we'll be back with the charge phase. So after the dust had settled, Johnny did a few bits of firepower, and he was able to kill a Kazakin with some heavy bolt weapons. And oh no, that was with the plasma, wasn't it? Yeah, the heavy bolt didn't do anything.
Plasma through that window.
Yeah, plasma through the window. I have to say I've been very impressed with the Kazakin so far, but we'll see if they're still around. See what Sangard does. Now, Johnny, do you know what charges you're going to do?
Yes.
Okay.
This is going to charge this squad, and this squad.
Excellent. Do you want to roll that now?
Yeah.
Easy peasy. There's your 8-inch charge. So you hopefully will be able to clean most of that up nicely.
Okay, then I'll probably use the 8 inch to just hop onto here. I don't think it'll really matter, but there you go.
Okay, yep. Just by the way, whilst you're doing that, I realised we didn't take your CP off for your reroll on the Eradicators.
That's fine.
There we go.
And then these guys are going to go for a long charge on here. I think I need a 10.
Okay.
No, they don't make it.
Yeah, because of the dense terrain, guys.
Yeah, and then the Sangha, but I just thought, you know,
give it a go, man.
Angels in turn 3 can do quite a lot.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, never underestimate it.
And then this guy, although I could probably finish this off, I think I really need to do the Carskin. You can't Overwatch me.
I can do Vicious Traps.
You can. It's your last CP.
It's my last CP. I'm definitely going to do it. Now, my Kazakin, I've got that Melter Mine upgrade. So that means that I will get this off on just automatically. Okay. So on a 1 to 4, I will do D3 mortal wounds to you. On a 5 or 6, I will do 2D3 mortal wounds to you. So just the D3. So it's 2 wounds, right? So will I get him? Yes. So that Sanguinary Guard, he tried to dive in on the Kazakin. And he sets off a trap. So cool, man. They actually, they do have they've got Brutal Strength, not Veteran Guerrillas. Yeah, so that was just a set of Vicious Traps. So good that you can do Vicious Traps now when you're wholly in that terrain, man. So good.
Lieutenant to these guys. I think he needs a 6.
He's in. He's in. He's like, do I have to do everything myself? Yeah.
There you go. Tempting to get these guys up to board, to charge these guys as well.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely.
So why not? So front squad. Maybe
do it live. Fuck it, let's do it live. No, I'd say pretty well out.
And then the back squad.
I'd say they're going to have to go round, so it's a bit trickier. No, okay. Lieutenant, I'll just have to do it.
Well, to be fair, actually, an 8, because they are Blood Angels.
You have to go round your own guys. You've got to go like an inch out and then forward.
Whatever, I don't care. Right, okay, so we'll do some fighting.
Okay, so we'll pause it there and we're back with the choppy. Okay, so we're going to start with the Blade Guard first. Now, this one chap here is going to try and butcher both of these 2-man squads. He's doing 2 attacks into one squad and 3 attacks into another squad. And then all the other attacks are going into the Ogre because Johnny was like, oh crap, they reduced damage by 1. I need every hit I can get.
Yeah, exactly.
So is this the Melter squad or the Plasma?
3
into the Plasma squad. Now, he's got 1 hit and you will kill on a 2. So you've got the kill. So I'm probably going to remove... we've knocked the terrain. Don't worry, we'll sort that out in just a moment. It's always the way with this sort of terrain. You're always catching it. And then do the 2 attacks into the Melter squad. So we've lost 1 guy from the Plasma. I'll sort that out in a second. He gets 1 hit. And he kills on a 2. And he does kill. So 1 from each squad is killed. I'll have a little think about whether I want to lose the Melter or the Vox. The special weapon Vox in each squad. I might want to keep the Vox caster just for secondary purposes.
Okay, this is
This is everything into the Ogrins. So hitting on 3s. Okay, so we'll pause there and let you pick the dice out. We're back with the wounds. Okay, so we're now going into the Ogrins. So he needs to wound on 3s. Now, every one of these just goes straight through. It's just how many wounds
1 damage
does he do?
There.
So he does 6 wounds. Now, that is going to kill 2 off, and 1's going to be very badly injured. So we'll remove that, and then it's probably going to swing over to here. And then it's going to swing over to me as the defender. So we can do that off camera because this guy will probably butcher them. And we'll see if the Ogrins manage to finish off the Sanguinary Priest. So we'll be back in just a moment. So once the other attacks had happened, the 2 guardsmen did nothing to the Blade Guard. The 2 Vox guys just trying to rifle butt and bayonet them. And then the Ogrins were able to kill the Sanguinary Priest. They got the 2 failed wounds through on him. And Johnny ummed and ahed about using the CP. But he decided his Warlord wasn't doing much for him. And that he actually would rather have the CP in the bank for those later turns. I agree with that decision. I think having CP on hand is such a massive part of 9th edition, especially in Nephilim when you don't have as many. You have to sort of recoup them as quickly as you can. Over here, the Lieutenant butchered 3 of the guardsmen, but 1 of them is still there. He didn't do anything back. And that was that. Now, a couple of leaderships. So I need to... I think the Ogrin lost 2, so they should be okay. But then we've got the 2 guys here. Now, if they roll a 6, they'll run away. First guy runs. Second guy doesn't run. I'm not in range to choose my Commissar there. Okay, that's a shame. So one of those guys is going to run. And then over here, on a 1, 2, or 3, he's okay. On a 4, 5, or 6, he runs away. So he's okay. So I'm just going to lose. The guy without the bayonet seems like the logical choice to lose over there. So not too bad. Blade Guard not doing as much as they usually do, but I think what we're seeing there is a real display of that Ogrin -1 damage. Ogrin have -1 damage. I think, you know, you guys do the maths, but I think that Ogre squad would have been picked up relatively easily.
I should have just killed off these guys because they're worth points to you, really, but
yeah.
one's down, so that's all right.
Yeah, exactly. So we will be...
I'm feeling confident on my points. I've scored just buckets of points.
Buckets and buckets.
Buckets of points. I'm not even sure how many.
You are ahead of me, but hopefully that turn 5 that's when the second player tends to get a nice big boost because you jump on objectives and stuff like that.
If you don't beat me, you've had every chance. My luck's been crap, and
yeah. Well, hopefully it'll be a close game. I mean, you have the advantage in that experience. I mean, it's just so people can see what's happening behind the camera. It's taken me a lot longer to make decisions than I normally would, and Johnny is making snap decisions because he's just so familiar with not just Blood Angels but with this list. And I'm always telling people, experience trumps army every single time. I should have just forged
ahead. I was too hesitant in the first turn.
Do you reckon?
Well, I still got the second turn charge off. I don't know. Yeah. It's hard to say.
It's hard to say. I think that Forlorn Fury made it a fair game. I think if you got that off, you would have easily, been in amongst me. You know what I mean?
Been over, yeah.
Yeah. So, but there we go. Good one to sort of note on. Right, we'll leave the Blood Angel turn there. We'll be back with the Guard command and movement, and then we'll go straight into the shooting phase. So in the Guard command phase, the Commissar used his Perfector's Order duty at all costs, which means that they can move, advance, and still perform actions. The squad then moved, advanced, got the 6 in the advance, perfect, just what I needed, and they've now done special orders on that objective and got me some points. We then had the rest of the orders were take aim, which means we've got people to +1 to hit, +1 AP, which is always useful. And then the tank order went out, and it went on this tank, which then splashed to everyone else, and that allowed me to reroll 1s to hit, because I haven't got that many blast weapons left, so reroll 1s to hit seemed like the right thing to do. I did have one more order left over, and that was a tank order. I just used that to help get, make sure that everyone could get that reroll 1s to hit with the take aim, thanks to my warlord trait allowing me to know 2 different kinds of order. So that is my movement. We'll now do some shooting. My plan is I need to do as much damage as possible to those Blade Guard, see if we can pick up some Eradicators and the Lieutenant, and we'll see what's left. So we'll get some dice together and we'll start shooting. So the first thing we're going to do is the Vanquisher Cannon here firing into the Blade Guard, because they don't get invulnerable saves against this. So let's see if we get the hit. We do get the hit with the turret weapon. Do we get the wound? We do get the wound. That's AP 5, becomes AP 4. That goes straight through the Blade Guard armor. That is going to kill 1 straight up, and then we'll see how many mortal wounds it does. Just 1. So 1 dead and 1 mortal wound. We've then got the Las Cannon, which gets a hit, and that is Hammer of the Emperor. So Johnny, you'll get a 4-up invulnerable save against that. And now, 4-up invulnerable save. Nope, you do have, you have 2 CP, I have 1 CP, so it's up to you if you want to re-roll that. This is the first shot of the game, in case you're wondering. Do you want to have a little think?
I'll re-roll it.
Okay, it's going to go for the re-roll. No, didn't pay off, sadly. So how much damage? 6, so that is going to be 2 Blade Guard killed from the first Vanquisher Cannon. I do have the stubber, but we'll just do that off camera. Okay, so we've got the next Vanquisher, which is going to do the same thing. So does it hit? It does. Does it wound? It does. So that kills 1. How many mortal wounds does it do? The big 3. And the Vanquisher Cannon is going to pick up both of those Blade Guard. Look at those Vanquishers go, boys. So much better than they used to be. Honestly, I think Vanquisher spam is now the way to go with your Lehman Russes. The Kazakin went next, and they fired their Plasma and Hotshot Sniper into the squad over here, and the Plasma killed 1, and the Hotshot Sniper got the other one. Really nice, that flat damage 3. All right, let's see what else we've got. Next up, we've got the Executioner, and he's going to fire his overcharge shots into these Gravis, this front squad here. So he's going to get D6 plus 3 shots. So he's going to get 5 shots. Do I want to re-roll that D6 plus CP? No, I'll keep it. So he's going to hit on 3s, re-rolling 1s with his turret weapon. That's 3 hammers. That's 1 miss. And then a re-roll, a wound roll. So that is 4 wounds. Now this is going to be AP minus 4, becomes AP minus 3. Now you've got a guy in cover. So do you want to do it? And the flat damage 3 each. So it does matter. So he passes, the guy in cover. Minus 4 becomes minus 3. He would die.
He's dead.
And then it's 6s for the other one. Nope. And no, so I think you rolled it over. I think that was the dice you actually rolled there.
Decide, do I get a second 6 in a row?
Okay. No, the dice gods were like, you would have had a 2, and now you've got a 1, and you'll be happy with it. That was actually the back squad, dude, but don't worry too much.
The back squad.
Sorry, that was the squad that was in cover. Yeah, don't worry, man. It's not a problem. Next thing I'm going to do is I am going to shoot my Hydra at those other Eradicators there. So the Hydra coming in with its 8 shots. Now, that it's technically got a turret weapon, and so that means it'll be hitting on 3s, re-rolling 1s. Oh, wow, look at that. 2 hammers. And then we've also got... these to wound. Now, these are wound on 3s. Oh, it's a full house. Now, these are AP -2, which becomes AP -1. So you will be on a 4-up save with your Eradicators. 1 dead, 2 dead. You will have 1 Eradicator left. All right, let's... that is pretty much all of my shooting. I might have a couple of Sentinels left, but apart from that, that's probably going to be the shooting and the guard turn done. So after all the little scraplets went, there was no extra damage done to the Blood Angels. So that is the guard turn. So we'll rack the points up and we'll be back with the Blood Angel turn 4 command and movement phase. Not a lot of Blood Angels left on the board here. We've got a lone Eradicator, a couple of squads of Tactical Marines and a Lieutenant. 12 models left on the board, and there's still a hell of a lot of guard firepower to go. Let's see what the Blood Angels can do going into their turn 4. So, Blood Angel's summary turn, very, very quick. The Lieutenant literally just hopped over here, and that has got Johnny Relentless Assault, and that has maxed out. That's 4 turns of him having more units in my deployment zone than me having them in his deployment zone. I probably should have used something like the Barbant Key last turn, and teleported over there. So that's a big brain maneuver I missed out on there. I had to kill stuff, yeah. But the Kazakin they probably weren't needed. But yeah, it's fine. It's done now. And that's just a good... I
said that at the start of the game. I said, sometimes it's clutch.
Yeah.
You've got to remember it.
It's a cool... I'm definitely going to use it in the final turn, just for the sake of it. But yeah, no, it's fine. It's just cool to notice that was an opportunity that I missed.
This guy went 1 footstep over here.
Got the Relentless Assault, and then these guys are just holding the middle there, and they are tucked away in such a manner that there's pretty much no way I can get an angle on them unless I come over here, which will be pretty difficult. And then the last Eradicator came over here to hold this objective.
That advance.
Yeah, it's exactly to hold that objective. So. That is the Blood Angel turn. They've got no shooting of note. They've got no combat this turn. Very quick. We'll go straight into guard turn 4 and we'll see what we can do to these Blood Angels. So, summary guard turn 4. The tank fleet moved out here but made sure it stayed in range for inflexible command.
The Commissar continues like, is he still out there? No, Captain's dead, right? Does anyone see the Captain? Is he dead? Did the Captain die yet? He's dead, right?
Yeah. Hey, look, it says...
Yeah, great challenge accepted.
Duty at all costs, including his own honour. So what I did is I was able to move my Voxcaster guy here and get him onto the objective, and he then controlled it and was within range of the officer who was able to move, and that meant that he was able to do special orders, which means that I've done special orders 2 or 3 times now, which is pretty good. And then what we also did is I ordered the Kazakin to take aim, and then they unlocked the Barbican's key, and they jumped down here, and they actually removed Johnny from that backfield objective. Now, that was a risky maneuver on my part, because they did actually lose me in flexible command then, which is pretty significant. But I'm hoping that I'll be able to max it out in turn 4-5. So that was interesting. But what it has done is it's removed Johnny off an objective, which means it's only going to gain 4 for his main primary rather than 8. So this
guy here has robbed me. They've done a great job.
Yeah, he's done a great job as well.
That Lieutenant it's just been a game of
frustration.
Yeah.
A bit like that ball action game, man. It's because we're so closely matched. We've played for so many years that it's never an easy fight when the two bros go against each other. So that is the end of... Oh, yeah, and obviously he just got vanquished and just died. Honestly, guys, vanquish spam. There's just no point even arguing it. The Plasma one looks good. The vanquish one is actually just fantastic. Anything you point at, it dies. The Hydra didn't have anything to do this turn. They just sort of held the objective. So yeah, that was... Oh yes, of course. So the Ogrins actually got a great charge on the tactical marines here, but I used my last CP for Thunderous Charge and it did nothing. And that should have been a warning to me about what was about to happen. Because I was able to kill 1.5 with my own attacks. And then they just absolutely went nuts. Nobody makes me bleed my own blood. Yeah. That's what the Blood Angels said. And they actually just killed the Ogrins back. Just did 7 wounds to them and absolutely massacred them. So that was unexpected. I thought the Ogrins would actually do something there. But the thing is what that's really hammered home to me is that Ogrins are a shooting unit. They're not a combat unit. They've got really good guns. But they can't actually, they can only bully like Guardians and Tau in combat.
Not even 5 tactical marines.
Not even 5 tactical marines. So that's so many good lessons have been shown off with this codex. So that is the end of Guard turn 4. Now the Blood Angels are going to go into their turn 5. And it'll be a very quick summary. They've got an Eradicator and they've got 4 tactical marines left.
I score at the start of my turn, my primary, so then I don't worry about objectives that I'm holding. It doesn't matter, right?
Exactly.
So...
Do you want us to do your turn?
Yeah, I'll just do it right now.
All right.
So he's going to come out here.
Okay.
And he's going to shoot at these guys, and then he's going to try and bop this guy on the head.
Okay. So you are going to shoot at a sentinel.
Yeah.
I will. I've got 1 CP.
There's only point in shooting any of this.
I'm going to spend a CP for smoke screen, so you hit on 4s. Gain a CP, spend a CP.
Okay.
That made a big difference.
What was that?
Yep.
And then these guys, they'll probably, because I've scored my points, they don't need to be on that objective anymore. I've maxed this. I've got a little clever manoeuvre that I'm going to do here.
Okay, I'm interested.
So I'm going to move 6 through this wall.
Yes.
And I'm going to try and charge around the back of the tanks and kill this guy.
Okay, he's going to try and do that. Okay, interesting.
Every point, because that's 5 points in the bag.
If he can do it, so...
Every 10, if I get him in melee.
If you get him in melee.
I can't shoot him, obviously, because he's hiding.
Yep, absolutely.
But they will fire their shots into there. We'll do that later. The key thing is the charge.
That's a nope.
7.
Not with having to go round the vehicle.
We'll go for a little re-roll of Rooney with my CP.
Yeah.
Come on now. Oh, it's a 4.
And a 4. So
8, 9. I reckon I could probably pull that.
Are you charging the tanks as well, though? Because if you're not, you're going to have to stay an inch away from them.
I'll charge whatever I have to put my attacks on that guy. Because it's very difficult. Yeah, we'll have to work it out.
Okay, let's work it out off camera. Okay, so end of the Blood Angel turn. We checked. Unfortunately, they were a couple of inches out, even if they were charging the tank. Just with the fact that they had to get round the edge of the tank and then get like 2 inches over there, it just really wasn't quite enough. So we double checked. We even moved terrain around just to make sure we'd given them every inch possible. Sadly, they weren't able to do it. In their shooting, though, obviously we said Johnny did declare he was doing a shooting over here. Really interesting. He got 3 hits, 3 wounds between the plasma and the bolters. I failed every save. I made every feel no pain. So that's what it feels like when people have a 5 at feel no pain, man. So I've been saying for a long time, guard command squads can be very, very, very durable. We then had the Eradicator over here who just bonked the guards on the head and just killed him. Very easy. And that was it. Did you say you'd forgot something there, Johnny? No, that's it. So we'll rack up the Blood Angel points, we'll do the guard points, and we'll see where the final score is. I think it's going to be very close on points, but I think the guard might end up picking up most of these Blood Angel models. So end of guard turn 5. The tank fleet moved forward, that Hydra and Sentinels spearheading the way. We took the objectives. I then also moved my command squad in the center of the board, which allowed it to be in range of both of those squads for inflexible command. The Kazakin, after clearing the objective, they smashed the entire area, they killed anything that had red legs. They then moved onto the backfield objective there and did special orders, which meant that they were within 12 inches of an officer and on an enemy objective, and that got me an extra 5 points. That was really big. That Barbican's key, genuinely, I think you keep it in your back pocket and you use it as a late game thing. Very nice. And also the tactical marines, unfortunately, they died, and so did the Eradicator. So the field of battle is bereft of Blood Angels, and the guards sit on every objective. So really, really strong showing from the guard. In terms of final points, it was a very, very close score. 77 to the Blood Angels and 85 to the guard. I dropped. Johnny handily beat me.
Got that guy with those tactical marines, I would have won the game.
Yes, yeah. That's how big it was. Again, and you would. It just came down to that Forlorn Fury, didn't it, man? I mean, really.
I mean, I should have.
There's nothing you can do.
I should have picked an actually decent secondary objective that the list designed to use, like banners or anything.
Banners would have been really strong for you this game, man. Really strong for you.
It's supposed to take banners. I would have taken banners, but I decided to issue a challenge for a bit of a laugh.
It's always good to have those kind of little fun secondaries. Try them out.
It would have been fun if you hadn't wedged the commissar between two tanks for the entire game.
He's the easiest character to kill. He's literally the easiest character to kill, man. So I gave you a fucking chance. If you'd got him, you would have had him. Yeah, really good game. I think a really strong showing from the Guard. I mean, wow, just wow. If this is obviously the playtester version, guys. If this hits hits the shelves anywhere like this in the final version, I think Guard are going to be in a really nice place. The army certainly plays very differently with your tanks. Obviously not having the flat number of shots.
Called the Drakari Codex a side grade. Back when they first were reading the leaks.
Yeah. And it wasn't. That was anyone who had a brain knew that wasn't a side grade, man.
Yeah, but it was said.
It was said. So really good game. Thank you to Johnny for coming down. We'll get the handshake on camera. Good game, man. It was, what did you, 30 seconds summary, what did you think of the new Guard?
I thought that, the AP -1/+1 to hit order is good. I think it's stupid that, normal Lehman Russes hit on 3-ups now, so that's obviously good for your viewers. I just kill the guards, that's what I do, like, you know what I mean? Like, it was pretty good. I was expecting you to be more mobile.
You hemmed me in slightly.
It was interesting game. It's hard for me to say because I don't, I know how to kill Guard, but I don't know how to run them. So I guess the intricacies are more apparent to you. For me, the sort of takeaway was just the additional AP -1 means that I can't just sort of stand there, swinging my dick around in the open with the Sanguinary Guard squad. I have to actually get them into a bit of cover. It makes a big difference, that kind of thing.
I mean, huge difference.
When Plasma becomes AP -4, Melted AP -5, like that extra AP, it's not a waste. It really shows. So
100%. I mean, what stood out for me is when I was reading the Codex before, I was like, it looks like the tanks are better than the infantry. But when my infantry was shooting,
double Plasma,
+1 to hit.
6s on your rifles being an extra hit. Like, it's just loads of nice little tweaks. It's obviously, it feels like a barrage of fire assaulting against the Guard. I mean, it always does, but it feels weightier now. I think
my final thought, thanks, I appreciate that. My final thoughts on it is, when I saw the Codex, I thought that tanks were going to be way better than infantry because of things like the turret rule. After seeing scraps of infantry downing Sanguinary Guard with just good aimed plasma shots, I'm actually thinking that pure infantry is just as good as the mechanized side of things now.
I just feel like I was, making the right moves in terms of, killing off 8 men out of the squad, and you were passing leadership checks and this, that, and the other, and keeping those 2 special weapons cranking, and it's just a very interesting changes. Very interesting changes.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. This is sort of our playtester version. I'll put a few more thoughts into an after-action report style video, guys. But that's it for today. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please consider giving it a like and a subscribe. And if you've really enjoyed the video, then consider becoming a channel member or Patreon supporter. It really does make a huge, huge difference. Thank you for watching. And as always, I'll see you guys next time.